Before we get into this exciting episode, I'd like to give a big thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this series. If you're looking to build a website or store, then definitely check them out. So I don't want to delay the main action by very long because there's so much nice footage from LA, but I thought it was pretty important to highlight the actual premise of what's going on. So last year I visited Venice for a week, and I spent some time at the skate park and found it pretty odd. Lots of people that are there are just skateboarding for the kind of publicity and the amount of people that get to see them and potentially sponsor them and get more followers, etc. It's also odd because there's so many people there who are just tourists and kind of watching what's going on. Because of all of this, it's probably one of the most documented skate parks or just places on Earth. There's so many photos of it and it's kind of become this huge kind of cliche place. But at the same time, I don't feel like anyone's actually captured what it's like to be there. So I thought, why not go and try and do that? So here we are. So we're just on our way to Venice Beach Skatepark for pretty much the first time of our trip, which is exciting. We've been here for a day and we're just kind of settling into the lifestyle and time zone. But we've got a pretty amazing sunset about to happen, so we thought we'd come here for like the last hour of the light to try and get into the swing of things, of capturing some portraits there and just kind of get used to the ambiance. So let's go.
Here, can I write her?
It's nearly time to get a lovely contemporary landscape of one of the bowls that's locked off. The sun is almost at peak golden hour. So until then, just relaxing. I just found it interesting that it makes it look like it's this really weird voyeur circle. I thought maybe that's a nice contrasting imagery to show. It's like kind of feels like the skateboarders are just here for their pleasure. So maybe that's something to try and capture. Whoa, action sports. Hire me, I'm your man. 1 frame a second. That's extreme burst. These people standing around here are doing.
Right.
I don't feel like anyone's actually captured.
Cool. What's your name?
George.
What is it, George?
Yeah, just stand
Dude,
out
they're from London. They're doing a little video of how weird Venice Beach is.
Can I get in the video?
What do I do? Just stand here?
Yep, and then just look towards me. 3, 2, 1. So if you look straight towards me, and if you close your eyes, close your eyes,
Close them?
and I'll count down 3, 2, 1, and on 1, open your eyes. 3, 2, 1. Cool.
Can I check them out?
It's a film camera.
Oh, no
So,
shit.
Yeah.
That's tight as fuck, dude.
If you-
That's like the real deal camera right there.
Probably be here. So we're going to call it a day now. We've been shooting for a bit, but it's nice to just kind of get here and get a feel for it. But it's getting a bit darker now and a bit cold really. So come back tomorrow and hopefully get into the groove. So apparently we forgot to record any form of introduction to the second day of shooting. And it turned out that the wind was actually pretty unbearable too, so maybe it's not actually the end of the world, and I thought, why not go to Future George's voiceover to describe the scene instead. So basically, we just went out at sunset again to get the golden hour of shooting, and I approached a few people and asked if I could take their portraits, and just kind of hung out at the park and got to know people. This guy was one of my favourites out of the whole time, who skates here every day with this tiny dog from a few miles away. And I asked him, what keeps drawing you back to Venice Beach? Why is this the best skate park? And pretty much his whole answer was just, I come here for the palm trees, which I think is great. At the moment, I'm just setting up this shot that I have an idea for, which involves using an ND filter. And I like the idea of trying to freeze some of the people who are stagnant in the skate park, like the people who are kind of form the amphitheatre watching the people. So it'll kind of blur the actual action that they're watching and just leave what I think is the weird aspect to it. So Tim's just done some maths about the reciprocity for the big stopper, which is 10 stops. So we think it's going to be 15 or 30 seconds. So we're going to try both of those, maybe a minute as well, just to give all the options and see how they all come out. Now, I know a lot of people are probably thinking, but you can lock cable releases. And yes, I do know that. Just last time I used this cable release in this camera, it didn't lock very well. So I thought better not waste film. So just as I rid some sand from my shoes, I'm switching over to the Pentax now for the next bit of shooting. Just as the sun gets lower into the sky and the light gets a bit warmer, I'm going to start trying to take some more portraits of the skateboarders as opposed to some of the wider angles on the Mamiya. Because on this camera I have a 105mm lens, which is quite telephoto, which would be really good for the portraits. And it actually opens up to f2.4, which is very shallow. So it should help to get some subject isolation in a skate park that's very cluttered and full of people, so that the portraits don't look too busy, even though they're surrounded by people. I don't know where would be good to take a portrait of him though, because it's kind of like, I want it to still stay like he's in the skate park, but it's hard to get separation from him because he's in the massive crowd, and I want him to stand out more. Maybe on the sand just there is good. I just don't know how much light's going to be on his face. Excuse me, would you mind if I took a picture of you with your suitcase? I'm working on a... Well no, I'd love to take a portrait just over here. I'm working on a photo series about Venice Beach. Okay. And like the skating and everything about it. I just love the fact that you're here with your suitcase. I'd really love to take a picture.
Alright, sure.
3, 2, 1. Thanks.
Sure.
My name's George.
Mike.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Where are you from?
London.
Fine. I mean, I figured England. My wife's English.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What brings you to Venice?
I'm here for work.
Cool.
Just in for the weekend.
Very nice.
Waiting to check into my place down the street. So I was coming to Venice.
Yeah, it's not a bad place to be.
Not at all.
Then can you just look towards me? One more looking at the camera. Cool. Thanks, man. My name's George.
What's your Instagram, so I can probably scoop those from you?
Then one closer. Can you take the step this way?
So the second
Yeah. Yeah.
Should I look at the camera?
Yeah, towards me for this one. So we're just finishing up here for the day. Today is Friday, if I haven't already said that. So been shooting for 3 days, I think. And it's sunset now, and the skateboard gets shut by the police at sunset. And also we run out of light, so calling it to an end now. I think I shot 7 or 8 rolls today. I feel like the kind of preempting and scouting of the first 3 days of the slow shooting is kind of built up to this point, and it allowed me to feel a lot more confident today with what I wanted to see. I think something that would be really helpful right now would be to see the photos that I've already taken, so I could look at them and plan out what else I wanted to shoot. But I think I'm going to have to do that mentally, because I'm going to get the film all developed at once. So go back tonight, have a think about everything, and come back tomorrow, which is Saturday, and we'll be extra busy at the skate park, which gives us more opportunity to shoot throughout the day. So this is where part 1 is drawing to a close. And I'd like to give Squarespace another huge thank you for sponsoring this series. If you're looking to build a photography portfolio, then definitely check Squarespace out. It's incredibly professional and easy, and it really just looks great. And you can get 10% off if you use the code NEGATIVEFEEDBACK. I'd also like to give Fuji a thank you for helping me out with a bunch of Pro 400H, which is what all these photos were shot on. And I'd also like to thank Linhof Studio and Lee Filters for letting me try out their NDs. So stay tuned and come back on Wednesday for part 2, where there'll be more shooting and fun stuff. Goodbye.